Carnell Johnson with the national anthem here tonight in Vegas on a special Veterans Day edition of Wild Hockey as Minnesota gets set to do battle with the Golden Knights. Our Northland Ford starting goaltenders.
Andre Boissault getting the start. I believe actually Robin Lehner's starting in net here tonight for the Vegas Golden Knights. I think our graphic is just off. Oh, he is. My bad. He is starting. Cam Talbot obviously getting the start at the other end, looking to extend the 4-game streak, having 4 days off. And Boissault is getting his 3rd start of the season here. Under 90 save percentage in his career and even so far this year for the young kid. Try to pepper as many shots as you possibly can on him. Backup goaltender. We all know who the new undisputed #1 is. Robin Lehner's going to be getting a good chunk of the starts this year for the Vegas Golden Knights, with Marc-Andre Fleury moving on to the Chicago Blackhawks.
And we are underway from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Nico Sturm has it for Minnesota back of the net. Stevenson takes it away. Dadonov threw it to the corner. Kolasar keeps it alive. Stevenson in behind. Dadonov had it stripped away by Merrill. Duhaime deflects to Sturm, and the Wild are efficiently out to center ice. Second of back-to-backs for Minnesota. They won in Arizona last night. Vegas had last night off after a victory here at home against Seattle on Tuesday night.
And the Wild should be in good shape. They didn't have players play too many crazy minutes last night. Everyone, the defenseman between 21 and 18 minutes, should be in good shape.
Waugh comes through the middle, is shot right on, save Talbot, and then he makes another stop on the rebound, and we get a whistle just under a minute in. Face-off will be coming in the Minnesota zone. Our Taco Bell take for the night.
Well, anytime you're playing a team that's depleted on the front end, they've got some high-end players out. You've got to be, if you're the Wild, you really have to match their work ethics. There's no question about it. Anytime you've got guys that are hurt, teams are going to play harder. And the Vegas Golden Knights in the last 8 games have been able to scratch out points just because they're just grinding. They're getting good goaltending, but they're just grinding away. So you've got to match their intensity.
Even with the players out, just about anybody would agree that this is going to be one of the teams in the hunt, if not the team to beat, coming out of the Pacific Division and in the Western Conference this year. Freddie Gaudreau circles, feeds the line. Brodin has it across for Dumba. Dumba's long shot got through, saved by Boissault, and the puck goes around behind where it's picked up by Theodore.
Boissault made that save for sure, but it hit his glove and just caromed away from him. Something I'm always looking for earlier in games, to see if goalies maybe were feeling a little bit of pressure or not really feeling on top of his game. So just a little indication there that he might not be on top of his game.
Strange carom out front, and a good chance is pushed just wide. Wild got a break there as a puck deflected off the stanchion right into the slot area. Now Haig with it for Vegas, around behind to Pietrangelo. The veteran defenseman sends it out to neutral ice. Eriksson there for the Wild. Back into his own zone. Minnesota regroups just over 2 minutes in. Alex Goligoski ahead to Kevin Fiala. Fiala flips it down into the corner. Greenway there, out to Spurgeon. Across for Goligoski, a shot, and that deflects wide. Greenway on it in the corner. Greenway tied up there. Minnesota in the midst of a change as Janmark comes to center. Janmark gives to Lecision. His shot was deflected away and played out to neutral ice. Braden McNabb back to his own line, lost it to Bukestad. He goes across to Pitlick. Pitlick drops. Greenway's shot over the top of the goal. Kulikov sends it back in. Coughlin there for Vegas. Got it out near the line. Comes loose at the Minnesota line. Janmark circles back. Janmark was the leading scorer in last year's playoff series between these teams. 6 points in the 7 games. Series won by Vegas when they took the 7th game here in this building. And we're going to get a whistle and a faceoff back down in the Minnesota zone.
Yeah, you're taught as a goaltender, anytime the puck gets up on the glass like this one right here, make sure you stay in your net. This is exactly why you stay in your net. You don't go behind the net when the puck is up on the glass. Boissault does a good job of trying to direct traffic after the puck hits a stanchion, and I don't know why I always think about Game 6 against Chicago when a puck hits a stanchion and pops out front. No idea why.
I'm not sure either. Of course, not just popped out front to number 88 for the Hawks.
He's pretty good.
Sturm deflects it in. Duhaime unable to find it for Minnesota. John Merrill back to pick it up. Merrill had a couple of assists last night in the 5-2 win against the Coyotes. Kulikov with it here.
You think about the 5 and 6 defensemen and how much confidence this coaching staff has in them. You don't see very often on the road your 5th and 6th defensemen start on the road against the Vegas Golden Knights. A tremendous amount of confidence the coaches have shown in that group.
Cross ice pass looking for Hartman, just deflected away. Marchessault plays to the Minnesota line, and Matt Dumba back after it. Dumba goes down in a heap in the corner. Waugh was tied up. Now it's Riley Smith, throws it to the side of the net. Marchessault there. Marchessault back into the middle, and a long shot by Theodore knocked down. Waugh back to Theodore. Marchessault into the middle, and a blast off the stick of Martinez is held by Talbot.
And this is the line, if you're the Minnesota Wild, you really have to take care of. You got to try to slow them down. Marchessault, Nick Waugh and Smith, and their defensemen on the back end, they like to move the puck around. They've been the hottest line. They have had 15 points in the last 4 games. This top line has. And they snapped that puck around, and Cam Talbot was able to swallow that one up. Good thing he did, because he had some tired Wild players on the ice.
Gaudreau booted off the faceoff dot. So it'll be Zuccarello against Stevenson. Stevenson wins it cleanly, back to the line. Dadonov, and now Martinez. Talbot steers that one into the corner. Golden Knights trying to get the forecheck established early. Without some of their high-skilled players, they've become a little bit more of a grinded-out offensive club. Stevenson back of the net, into the slot, just misfired, and then Martinez sent it over the top of the goal. Theodore on it, he just missed. Dadonov in behind. Kaprizov with it there for Minnesota. Spins out of a check and flips it across for Goligoski.
Well, you can see how active the Vegas Golden Knights defensemen are. Theodore and Martinez all over the ice. Theodore was able to jump into the slot there, and Kirill Kaprizov got caught a little off guard. You got to keep your head up, head on a swivel with these Vegas defensemen.
Kaprizov and Zuccarello play catch. Started to see a little of the magic we saw so often from those two last night. A brilliant power play goal scored by Kaprizov. Janmark played it across, and a backhander went just wide. Golden Knights have some jump here early. Merrill out to center. Haig knocks it down for Vegas and fires it right back in. Talbot knocks it off the glass for Merrill. Off the end boards to Kulikov, and now back to Merrill. These two are combined plus 11 on the season. Kulikov plus 6, Merrill plus 5. Eriksson Ek into Vegas territory. Foligno's shot. He's intercepted on the way by Haig. 3-on-3 the other way. Paul Cotter carries in and scores.
Had to dig pretty deep to figure out who Paul Cotter was this afternoon. Only his 2nd game in the National Hockey League. 4th round pick from 2018, just signed his new entry-level deal here this summer to play 100 games in the National Hockey League. A guy that's getting an opportunity with a lot of the Vegas Golden Knights high-end players out of the lineup again. Pulls this puck right underneath Kulikov's stick. And normally when a lefty pulls it underneath the stick, he's going to shoot it far side blocker. And I think Cam Talbot thought that's exactly where that puck was going, because it looked to me like he was sliding a little bit to his right, and that puck enters the net right over his glove.
So Vegas will play with a lead. Minnesota had been on a run. They had scored first in 5 of their last 7 games. Wild would have been offside here, so they'll regroup. Fiala moves in. cut off by Haig. Threw it out front. Eriksson tried to jump around a check. Puck comes back out to center, and Dumba has it for Minnesota. Able to hold on to the puck against pressure from Marchessault. Bukestad swings wide, threw it out front, and it was disrupted. Dumba tried to play back down into the corner, and the Golden Knights able to clear. Talbot has to play it. Greenway just off the bench. One touch to Bukestad. Coughlin takes it away, and across to Braden McNabb. Golden Knights are missing plenty up front, there's no question, but this defensive core, one of the best in the NHL. Zach Whitecloud still out of the lineup for them, but the 6 that are in tonight make up one of the best groups top to bottom in the league.
Yeah, and Whitecloud, it sounds like he's going to be back here in the next few days. So, yeah, they've got some depth back there for sure. And when you got guys like Martinez and Theodore, I mean, those guys are in the running, getting some consideration for Team Canada to play on their Olympic team. So they've got a lot to play for, not only for their club here, but just if they want to play on that Olympic team, Team Canada as well. And that goes for Pietrangelo as well.
Spurgeon and Merrill play catch as Minnesota completes a change. Sturm chips it into Vegas ice. His centering pass broken up by Janmark and out to center. Merrill drives it back in. Brossoit out to leave it on the end boards. Vegas has 7 of the 9 shots on goal in this game. And the only tally, first NHL goal for Paul Cotter, who just made his debut Tuesday night against Seattle. Duhaime into the corner, jumps around a check. Duhaime upended there. Hartman keeps it alive, and now Martinez goes down in the corner. And we're going to get a face-off as Martinez heads to the bench.
I didn't see what happened down there. I'm hoping a skate did not come up and clip him. The way that play developed down there, it looked like, there it is, exactly what I thought happened. Anytime a player falls forward, and Brendan Duhaime did fall forward, was not cross-checked, kind of got tangled up.
So Vegas playing with the lead early, 1-0.
Numbers are outstanding. We talked to Dean Evison last night. He said, there's no doubt, having 4 lines helps, but when you have a game like we did in Arizona last night, when we're not chasing the game, we're not protecting a lead, you can really spread the minutes around. When I asked Marcus Foligno about this, he said, the way we're playing right now with this win streak, all 4 lines are coming to play every night, and we're fighting for minutes. We want to be out there, so everybody kind of, all boats rise when you're playing the way the Wild are right now, and especially here, second of back-to-back.
So important to be able to balance those minutes in both games. Minnesota able to do that last night. Tonight, the disadvantage for the Wild, different than what we saw so often last year, where if one team was in a back-to-back, in most cases, so was the other. This, the more traditional situation where the visiting team played somewhere else last night and the home team had a night off. Long shot by Theodore, blocked. Gaudreau tries to shove it past him, and Pietrangelo's back to pick it up. Off the skate of Gaudreau, and that forces the Wild in offside.
And you can see early here in the first period, the Wild a little out of sorts. 9 minutes in, only have 2 shots on goal, and really no sustained offensive zone time so far for the Wild. And I can tell you from my own experiences in playing from back-to-backs, a lot of times that back end of back-to-backs, sometimes because you don't have morning skates, you don't get it, your legs just don't always feel great the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game, but they feel unbelievable as the game goes on. And so a lot of times as players, you just have to really grind your way through those. It's just like a wall and fatigue when it hits. You just have to push your way through it. And then once you get out the other side, you start to feel pretty good.
Ice work needed here at T-Mobile Arena. The couple of the players after the game and during the game Tuesday night against Seattle commented that the ice was not great here in the building a couple of nights ago. A lot of bouncing pucks and just seemed sticky.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're going to get that when you get the temperatures we walked over here. I mean, it's just beautiful walking over here, 78 degrees and warm. And obviously the buildings are full now, so it's going to bring the heat into the buildings a little more when the building has bodies in it. So, hey, same for both teams, so there's no sense in complaining about it. Let's go about your business.
Spurgeon trying to get it in behind to Fiala. Now Fiala does have it. Spurgeon supports the play. Stevenson knocks it off of his stick. Fiala got a skate on it. No icing as it was on goal. Talbot knocks it aside. Spurgeon out to center ice. Eriksson Ek tied up by McNabb, and that allows Stevenson time to grab the puck. Alex Goligoski in his own zone for Minnesota. Fourth game back for Goligoski. Has assists in 2 of the first 3 since returning from missing 3 games. Ronbjerg gets support from Howden in the corner. Back now to Cotter, the goal scorer. Cotter trying to keep the play alive in the corner. He does. Feeds the line. Haig with it. Across Pietrangelo. Works past Pitlick and then tried to center. It deflects back out to neutral ice.
And good communication between the Wild center and winger there, Jordan Greenway and Eriksson Ek. Looked like they were in no man's land. Good communication in their own zone. You could hear them from up here talking to each other to sort that out, and they were able to keep the Vegas Golden Knights to the outside.
Kulikov under some pressure, got it to Pitlick. Pitlick defended by Janmark. In behind the Vegas goal, Brossoit plays to the corner. Golden Knights create a chance coming the other way. Decision on the wall. McNabb. Hartman able to play it off the glass and out. Relieve the pressure for Minnesota. The Wild will change. Coughlin. Hounded there by Duhaime. It comes out to neutral ice. Decision dumps it in, and Vegas has a fresh 5.
See if the Wild can work their way through the neutral zone here. The Vegas Golden Knights have done an amazing job here through the neutral zone of clogging up that zone.
Nicholas Waugh dumps it into the Minnesota zone. Dumba scoops it up there for the Wild. His pass deflected by Sturm out to center. Haig right back on the attack. Waugh tried to go to Smith. Comes loose to the line. Theodore's shot kicked away. And Kaprizov feeds Zuccarello. Gaudreau's in. Fire saved by Brossoit. Out front Kaprizov, and he sent it wide. He had most of an empty net at which to shoot.
I thought Freddie Gaudreau was just going to take that puck and slam it in the empty net.
Zuccarello works around Haig. Into the middle, Spurgeon out front, but it handcuffs Gaudreau. Stevenson with speed into the Minnesota zone. Across, and Dadonov is denied by Talbot.
Huge save there by Talbot, getting across on that. On the Vegas forward, keeping this a 1-goal game. The pace has definitely picked up here in the last 5 minutes.
Wild with a couple of good looks on this shift. They'll change.
I wonder on that empty net goal that Kaprizov had chance. I wonder if he thought Gaudreau was going to throw the puck in the net himself instead of pass it to him. Might have caught him a little bit off guard.
Fiala at center. His pass intended for Eriksson Ek, intercepted by Theodore. Theodore sent it across. Ronbjerg back to the line for Theodore. His shot flutters wide. Pietrangelo's on it in the corner. Cotter tried to center. Fiala deflected it away. Foligno has it for Minnesota. Safely to Merrill. And Minnesota will get reorganized with Kevin Fiala moving ahead. Coughlin. Bukestad is able to hold for a moment, then his stick shatters, and we get a slashing call. That was the reason why Bukestad's stick wound up in splinters, and Minnesota will go to the power play. Get a chance to tie the game next. Paul Cotter has the game's only goal. Now he has a penalty that will put Minnesota on the power play.
They had too much juice over top of Nick Bukestad's stick there, and the referee that was out in the neutral zone, I happened to look at him. He was standing right in front of the Minnesota Wild bench, and all the Wild players were yelling. That was an easy call. Wild find themselves on the power play. Has been much better here the last few games, especially with Matt Zuccarello back in the lineup for the Wild.
Fiala with it here for Minnesota to Spurgeon. Zuccarello moves in, a shot saved by Brossoit. Waugh tied up, Kaprizov to the line, Spurgeon able to hold. Now McNabb on it for Vegas, and he sends it all the way down the ice.
Alec Martinez still out of the lineup. Took a skate in the face earlier in the first period. Not back on the bench. Probably getting stitched up right now. One of the best penalty-killing defensemen in the National Hockey League. That's an important piece here going forward for this power play for the Wild.
Wild offside. Minute 26 left in the power play. The Wild 2 for 3 on the power play last night in Phoenix. 4 power play goals in their last 5 games.
I mean, the first unit especially just looks like a different unit when you get Zuccarello out there. I mean, I think, obviously in the offensive zone, they were playing past him and Kaprizov on the 5-on-3 behind the net and scored. But just entries like this little play, well, you're hoping you make a little bit better play there, but just the entries is what I'm talking about. That's where he's really valuable.
Pietrangelo and Kaprizov battle for the puck in the corner. Comes loose out front, and Coughlin sends it all the way down. Here comes Jared Spurgeon with speed through center. Fiala into the corner for Erikssonek. Now Kaprizov back of the net. Out to Zuccarello at the line. Kaprizov, Spurgeon. Fiala fires. That was blocked and never reached the net. Golden Knights able to clear once more.
Wild doing a good job moving the puck around. Got the puck on that flank side for Kevin Fiala. We've seen him pull that puck in and rip it on net. Was unable to get that shot past Theodore.
Here's a chance for Smith, shorthanded, and Talbot made the save. Then the puck had to be swept out from behind him. Dumba back on the attack the other way. Final seconds of the Minnesota power play. Gaudreau with it. Across for Dumba. He goes skate to stick and fires, and that deflects into the netting. And we get a whistle with 4 seconds left in the Cotter minor penalty.
Yeah, we've talked throughout the year about getting big saves at the right time, and with 4 minutes left going into the bench there, I mean, if you give up a goal right there on a shorthanded breakaway, I mean, that could be devastating. Again, Cam Talbot comes up with a huge save at the end of this first period. 4 minutes still left, but at the end of a Wild power play could have been devastating. Just has that uncanny ability to come up with a big save when needed. He did it last year in the 7-game series against the Vegas Golden Knights as well.
Talbot had a 92.3 save percentage in that series. A 2.45 goals against. Brodin works down the wall. Gives to Gaudreau. Cotter's back on. The Golden Knights at full strength. Gaudreau knocked off the puck by Cotter. Foligno there to support. And the bouncing puck taken away by Waugh. Waugh played it across. McNabb able to disrupt Minnesota's entry. A quick pass out front, and Janmark from close range. Talbot again in the perfect position to make the save. He stopped 11 out of 12, and Vegas leads by 1. In favor of Vegas, here's tonight's Stats Made Easy, presented by Geico. Freddie Gaudreau and Dmitry Kulikov, a couple of guys who sometimes bring things that aren't the most clearly visible, but boy, have they been productive. This is expected goals for percentage. Gaudreau #1 in the league, Kulikov #3.
Well, the dividends are paying off. I mean, it's right in the numbers right there. These two players were not on the Wild's radar last year. They weren't on the team. You bring in Freddie Gaudreau, who's done an outstanding job, as you mentioned. The small little details to his game have been very impressive.
Merrill with it here in the corner. That statistic figured when a player's on the ice based on the shot attempts that take place for and against, and what the likelihood is that they result in a goal. This one out of play. Face-off coming in the Vegas zone. And Gaudreau's a player that Dean Evason has raved about from day one. Said he's just such a sound player, always in the right spot, has some offensive skill, but just a good hockey player.
You'd have to watch his game very closely to really appreciate all the little things he does. His second effort, third effort on pucks, and we've mentioned this during the last few broadcasts. It seems like he gets his puck or his stick on so many pucks to dislodge the puck from opponents. And when you're playing with guys like Zuccarello and Kaprizov, coming up with those loose pucks is very important. And look you don't get opportunities like this in your career. Just have a look at your two line mates. You're playing on the top line. You've played 115 games in the National Hockey League. You got to take advantage of this opportunity. You just don't know if you're Freddie Gaudreau when you're going to get a chance to play with these kind of players, and he's done exactly that so far. He's been really, really good.
Ron Beer cuts in and scores. Couple of youngsters with the goals tonight for Vegas. One from each of the wingers on their fourth line, each with their first in the NHL, and it's 2-0.
These young kids for the Vegas Golden Knights are getting opportunities. This is his first goal of the National Hockey League, and again, when you've got guys out of the lineup, sometimes it can be a blessing in disguise. You get other guys that get an opportunity to play a little bit more. Rionberg pulls the puck from his left to his right, all the way across Cam Talbot's body, and Cam is able to move off across, but he's got so much reach, this kid. He's able to pull it a little bit further to his left and was able to beat Cam Talbot to the low blocker side.
A 2-goal lead now for the Golden Knights. Brodin in for Minnesota, taken away by Pietrangelo. Loose puck. Dodonov into the corner. Theodore picks it off the boards. His shot deflects wide. Brodin unable to clear. Dodonov back of the net. Stevenson on it in the corner. Bumped there by Brodin. Out to the line, Theodore. Into the middle, Pietrangelo, a shot. That one off the end boards. Dodonov on it. Golden Knights have had the better of the play most of this period. And they're rewarded with a couple of NHL firsts for Paul Cotter and Jonas Rondberg. Zuccarello out to the line for Dumba. Intercepted by Theodore, taken away then by Eriksson. Zuccarello to Kaprizov. Out to the line for Merrill. Zuccarello, Kaprizov. Lost it to Pietrangelo. Smith tried to chip it by Merrill, and Dumba's there to pick it up for the Wild. Inside 2 minutes left in the first period. And here we get a whistle as the puck's played with a high stick.
Well, there's no doubt about it. The Vegas Golden Knights have had quite a bit more jump than the Wild so far here. The Wild with only 5 shots on net with having a power play. One thing that's jumped out to me, Anthony, so far in the first period, the Wild have had virtually no offensive zone time. They have given the puck to the goaltender on their dump-ins at least 7 or 8 times. And anytime you do that in the NHL, the way these goalies play the puck, it's just too hard to create offense. They got to do a better job through the neutral zone of getting pucks past him so they can create a little bit more havoc.
Goligoski tried to dig it loose behind the net. Spurgeon plays it right back in. Foligno joins the fight for the Wild. Eriksson out to the line. Goligoski tried to go back to Eriksson, and Waugh takes it away. Eriksson able to hold. Foligno has Fiala out front. Couldn't get the shot away. And then Fiala's dumped. Fiala wanted a penalty coming, but nothing. Here's Waugh. Bumped off the puck by Eriksson.
Great defensive play by Dylan Coghlan right there to get back and keep that scoring chance from happening out in front of the Wild net. The Vegas Golden Knights have not had many breakdowns, but they definitely did right there, and the Wild were not able to take advantage of it.
Spurgeon through neutral ice. Decision dumps it in. Brodin there with a half a minute to go. Around behind the net to Spurgeon and back to Brodin. Hartman hits the line and Minnesota's offside.
Okay, we mentioned that sprawling play by Dylan Coghlan, the defenseman who was already out of position. Just a diving effort to get his stick on that puck. And the Wild's hottest forward would have been all alone with the goaltender, was just ready to use his body as a shield, but Coghlan made the right decision to dive there. If he does not dive and stays on his feet, there's no question Kevin Fiala boxes him out and gets a better scoring opportunity.
Fiala, a 3-point night last night against the Coyotes. Kulikov knocked down. Loose puck controlled by Greenway. Final seconds of the period. And a good period for the home team as Vegas outshoots Minnesota 16-5 and leads it 2-0.
Yeah, it was. I mean, if you're the Wild, you just got to tap Cam Talbot. He made a few big saves there. Actually, I think the Wild are fortunate that it's only 2-0. Could definitely be 3-4-0. The Wild have been coming from behind all season long. Just need to play better second and third period. Give themselves a shot.
We'll be heading back to St. Paul. Katie Emmer will join us from Tom Reed's Pub in downtown St. Paul coming up during our first intermission. Sports North is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. And by TSR Injury Law. If you've been injured, call 612-TSR-TIME and put their winning team to work for you.
We're back at T-Mobile Arena. The Vegas Golden Knights have a 2-0 lead after the first 20 minutes. Former Golden Knight defenseman's with us here, John Merrill. First off, you know what this team can do. They came out, they fed off that crowd. What needs to change for you guys defensively to get back in this one?
Yeah, you know, our game is getting in on the forecheck and turning pucks over and spending time in the offensive zone. I don't think we got to our game quick enough there. So we'll look to get in their zone and get that sustained pressure a little bit more in the second.
I'm sure you love the noise in this building when you're on the home side. Now you're on the other side. Communication, such a big part of you guys on the back end. What do you have to do to overcome the noise here when they get rolling?
Yeah, you said it best. Just communicate, talk with each other, let each other know where we are. But it's a fun building to play in for both teams. It has a lot of energy, so you can both teams can feed off it.
Sounds like a good plan. Go get them the next 40.
Thank you.
John Merrill and the Wild down 2 after the first 20. When we come back, we check in with Katie Storm. She's at Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub for a fun Veterans Day celebration. Stay tuned.
Nothing to the Golden Knights after 1 so far in Las Vegas. Welcome back inside Mall of America studio. I'm Audra Martin. In honor of Veterans Day, Bally Sports North is teaming up with United Heroes League to support our military families and to ensure that military children are happy, healthy, and active through sports. Tonight, with the help of Highway Credit Union, United Heroes League has established a phone bank at Tom Reed's Pub in downtown St. Paul so you can show your support. Katie Storm has more on all the action.
Yeah, thanks, Audra. We're still out here at Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub. A busy night as United Heroes League and Highway Credit Union have teamed up to help support military kids and their families. We got a phone bank open, some Highway Credit Union helpers here. They're busy taking calls. That number is 844-UHL-KIDS for any of our viewers who want to call in and pledge their support. But that's not it. There's also a live auction going on. That website is giveuhl.org. These are some of the auction items. Kirill Kaprizov's signed jersey has been pretty popular here in person tonight. A lot to get your hands on. You got to check out that website online and see what's happening. It is the last night of that auction as well. But taking a look at who else is here, well, we got some local hockey legends, Lance Pitlick, Neil Broughton, and that is Tom Chorsky. They're signing autographs. They're having a good time. It is one fun night indeed. Looking forward to seeing what else can happen, and all in support of these military kids and their families on Veterans Day. Audra and Ben, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Katie. United Heroes League, such a great organization. They do wonderful things. So definitely take the time to show your support and pick up those phones. Now back to the task at hand for the Minnesota Wild. Like I said, they have some work to do. They played last night. And the Vegas Golden Knights, it's not every day you see a couple of first career goals. Now we've seen 2 in one game. They came ready to play.
2-1 game in the first period. That was unbelievable. 2 fourth-line players. Congratulations. Welcome to the National League. However, for the Minnesota Wild, you had better figure things out. This was the type of game that I would have expected last night, Audra. I talked about it at the pregame show. Minnesota Wild came out flat. Didn't seem as prepared as they were the day before. They have to get things squared away. Leadership, coaching. You have to make their feelings be known here in this intermission break.
Well, the Minnesota Wild came into this one on a 4-game win streak. They had plenty of time to make it 5 straight, and let's be honest, it's the Wild. They're the comeback kids. Kings when it comes to come from behind wins so far this year in the National Hockey League. We'll see if they've got another one in store for us tonight in Sin City. We'll send you back out for stats and highlights next.
Is brought to you by Toyota. Dear driver, hurry in and save. Toyota. By Connecticut. Better water flows from better thinking. And by CarShield. CarShield, cars go farther. Vegas in front 2-0. They dominated the first period. Minnesota might be fortunate to be down only 2.
Yeah, for sure. The Wild got off to a great start in Arizona, up 2-0 last night. But a little bit different story here tonight. The Vegas Golden Knights find themselves up 2-0. Paul Cotter right there with his first goal in the National Hockey League. Cam Talbot makes a big save here right after the Wild had a power play that didn't get a whole lot accomplished there. He's been doing that all year. And then a goal here, the second goal. Again, this is the first of this young lad's career, able to get around Goligoski on the outside and then pulls it all the way across his body and beats Cam Talbot to the far side.
Menard's game reset. You can see the shots, the shot attempts significantly favor Vegas. Scoring chances 8-4 in the Golden Knights' favor. 2-0 in favor of Vegas after 1. The second period is next. 0 after 1. United Heroes League and Highway Credit Union have established a phone bank at Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub in St. Paul, so viewers can call in throughout tonight's Veterans Day game and help military kids. Call 844-UHL-KIDS to donate or visit giveuhl.org.
All right, the Vegas Golden Knights a half a step quicker than the Wild all the whole first period. Time to regroup here in the second period. We've seen it all season long, this Wild team battling back. I mentioned the back ends of back-to-back. A lot of times your legs don't feel great in the first period. Have to keep the puck away from the Vegas Golden Knight goaltender to allow them to get in and create some offensive zone time.
Second periods have been Minnesota's best so far this season in terms of goal differential. They're +2. Vegas, on the other hand, -5 in the middle frame. Dadonov in, saved by Talbot. He tried to push it into the corner, and it deflects up onto the side of the goal. Probably just important for Minnesota to establish any kind of time in the offensive zone, even if it doesn't result in an early goal this period, but just something to at least get the game going in the right direction.
Well, backup goalie Broussard he's played 3 games this year, and his save percentage is under 90. I mean, they just were not able to put any pucks on him and make him work, create any high danger opportunities. So again, just getting in on the forecheck is going to be very, very important. It looks like Alec Martinez is still not on the bench for the Vegas Golden Knights. That is not nothing in this game, because he's a money eater, or he's a minute eater for the Vegas Golden Knights. Not seeing him on the bench is good news if you're the Wild. Hope he's okay. He took a pretty bad skate in the face there on a play there in the corner.
Fiala picks it away from Haig. Fiala in, a shot and a save by Broussard. Jonas Brodin was driving through the middle, and I'm not sure Fiala knew he was there.
Yeah, Kevin Fiala just using his speed through the neutral zone right there. Able to rip the puck low blocker, and he's looking to the heavens. Great job lifting the stick there. This looks like it hits Broussard's. He did get a blocker on. I thought maybe that hit the knob of his stick and stayed out, but good burst of speed there by Kevin Fiala.
Brodin knocks it down at center ice. Golden Knights 2-on-2 at the Minnesota line. Brodin with Waugh in hot pursuit. They go into the corner after it. Marchessault went down. Pietrangelo holds his own. Haig moves in for a shot, and Talbot's out on top of the blue paint to make the save.
And Marcus Foligno at the beginning of the shift with a huge hit on Nicholas Hagen. It's I mean, he scored so many big goals. This is, if you're Marcus Foligno, you're thinking to yourself, you're a leader on this team. What do I got to do? Am I going to fight somebody? They don't really have any tough guys. He just blows up a Vegas Golden Knights player right in front of the Wild bench, trying to get his guys going. That's just what this guy does. I mean, he just, wherever he is needed to be a leader, he recognizes when it's time and when it's not time. And right now, finishing your checks and finishing and getting on top of guys is going to be really important.
Draw in the Minnesota zone. Wild control with Goligoski. Off the boards through neutral ice. Janmark back in on the attack. Duhaime couldn't get it by Coghlan. Well, Amadio was alone out front. Pass just didn't connect. Now Amadio with it again. His pass behind Janmark and around to the far side. Goligoski rides Lecision into the side boards. Centering pass is knocked away, and now we're going to get a whistle and a tripping call coming that will result in a power play. Goligoski to the box and Vegas to the man advantage.
And Goligoski working down on the corner. Calls a trip on that play. Anytime you hit somebody like that and you're looking at the referee, it's almost like you're a little bit guilty right away. A lot of times as a player, never ever look at the referee when you thought maybe you were guilty of something.
I don't think that was the one that was called. I actually think it was the next one as they came off the wall. Because when Goligoski made that hit, the nobody's arm went up.
Minnesota penalty call to number 47, Alex Goligoski.
Very important penalty kill for Minnesota. The Wild 6 for 6 over the last 3 games. Vegas starting to come to life on the power play themselves. They were 0 for 19 through the first 10 games, but 3 power play goals in the last 3 games for the Golden Knights.
And the Golden Knights 1 for 1 on their entries, and where they have had a lot of trouble is getting into the zone, the entries, and not having Mark Stone in the lineup. That's one thing that he is just so good at.
When you think about the guys out, Stone, Pacioretty, they're both a part of the top power play group. Carlson usually a part of the second. Marchessault with it here. Tried to go back to the middle. Sturm knocked it away. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Now in the second try he does. Wild attack shorthanded. Gaudreau winds and fires. That went wide. Merrill to Gaudreau. Gaudreau to Greenway. He couldn't get the shot away. Pietrangelo breaks it up. Pietrangelo attacks for Vegas. Drops to Marchessault. Back up high for Coghlan. Marchessault a drive. That was blocked. And Greenway clears for Minnesota.
Amazing how loose defensively the Vegas Golden Knights are in their own zone. 2 great scoring opportunities, shorthanded. Pietrangelo was just able to get his stick back in there. Gaudreau would have found Greenway on the back door.
Kodana fires and a glove save by Talbot. Puck was loose. Coghlan a rocket, and that was blocked.
Looked to me like Jonas Brodin got his stick on that puck before it was ready to go over the goal line.
Dumba made the second block, and he's shaken up. Wild able to clear. Hartman with it at center. He has Greenway with him on the attack, and he sent it wide. Wild trying to change. Stevenson tries to catch him. 3-on-2 for Vegas. Haig looked to go back across the grain. Now Haig up high for Coghlan. Power play is over. Goligoski's back on. Haig with it, and his shot is into the netting and out of play. A very important kill for Minnesota.
Again, all kinds of chances for the Minnesota Wild on the shorthanded play. Watch Gaudreau coming up with this loose puck on the back door. You can see Greenway coming here. He gets it over the goaltender's stick, but Pietrangelo does a good job of just getting his stick there. And this is the shot that looked to me that eluded Cam Talbot, and Jonas Brodin able to get his stick on the puck to keep that one from going over the goal line. And Matt Dumba on the next play when Cam Talbot was laying on the goal line on his back, took one for the team right there and saved the goal.
So back to 5-on-5 hockey. See if the Wild can generate some momentum off the successful kill. Bukestad. Fiala. Cross ice for Spurgeon. Bukestad to support. He's able to knock it into the corner. Bukestad centered. Nobody home for Minnesota. And Pietrangelo there for Vegas. Icing here against the Golden Knights, and Minnesota will get an offensive zone draw.
This would be a good start to start off with this face-off. I mean, the Vegas Golden Knights are uncharacteristically are 23rd in the National Hockey League at keeping the puck out of their net. They're usually right near the top of the league, so you're not out of the game. This is not the 1985 New Jersey Devils that Tom Chorsky used to play for, where they give up 2 scoring chances. If you can create loose pucks and loose change in the offensive zone, you're going to get rewarded. We saw that even on the penalty kill, while getting 2 or 3 great scoring chances.
Vegas was #1 in the league last year in team defense at 2.16.
Yeah.
This year, as you mentioned, 23rd, more than 3 goals against per game. Kaprizov works past Haig. Knocked away by Theodore. Zuccarello spins around him. Couldn't get the puck to the line. Now they do, and it's a 2-on-1 for Vegas. Raw has Marchessault with Merrill back, and Merrill sprawls to get a skate on it. The net's knocked loose. And I think there's going to be a penalty against Minnesota for knocking the net loose.
Yeah, the referee's pretty emphatic that, I believe it was Freddie Gaudreau.
Minnesota penalty number 89. 2-minute minor penalty for playing game.
And I was watching the play on the back side. Merrill does a great job of his timing and going down on 2-on-1. Freddie Gaudreau burying his head, coming back into the play. Turns his back and happens to hit the post. If he would have been going in straight forward and stayed forward, I thought maybe it wasn't a penalty. But him turning his back, I don't know. It's a bit of a loose call for me. But unfortunately for the Wild, the referee was 10 feet away.
But normally, to get a delay of game call, it has to be intent, where you are knocking the net loose to take away a scoring chance. I don't think that's what Gaudreau is doing.
Obviously, the referee thought that he could have stopped quicker than he did, and that's why the Wild are in the penalty box. And I'm not sure I disagree. I'm not sure I, agree with the referee, but that's the call it is. You just gotta get this one.
Marchessault tried to center, and that sails out of play. Minute 38 left in the Vegas power play. Second man advantage chance of the night for Vegas.
Wild sending out their best face-off guy. Nico Sturm so far this year. Look for Jonas Brodin if this face-off is one to bump it to the back of the net. And the defenseman in front of the net, I believe that's Matt Dumba. Just shovel that, there it is.
And Dumba's able to clear. Sturm a nearly 65% face-off man so far this year. That was a very important win.
So valuable.
Marchessault into the Minnesota zone. Tried to drop for Waugh, taken away by Duhaime. Duhaime shorthanded at the Vegas line. Sturm catches up with it in the corner, and he'll play it safely back to Dumba. Wild will try to play a little keep away and burn some clock. Dumba blasts at the length of the ice. Brossoit knocks it to the wall. Greenway picks it clean, and the Wild will do it again. Brodin this time drives it in. Haig nearly lost it to Greenway.
Three for a quarter.
Try one more time.
We are in Vegas.
Haig with it. Kolasar back to Haig. Into the Minnesota zone. Goligoski got a stick on it, and Hartman's able to knock it by Dadonov, and all the way down. 22 seconds left in this Golden Knight power play. Final seconds of the man advantage. Clearing attempt broken up by Haig. Eriksson Ek sends it into the corner. Goligoski relayed it to Spurgeon. And the Wild now at full strength as Spurgeon sends it all the way down, and that one of the better penalty kills we've seen from the Wild this season.
Yeah, great kill, and where they had a lot of their success, Anthony, was just on the entries. The Wild did a great job of clogging things up at the blue line and just not allowing the Vegas Golden Knights to really get any offensive zone time on that kill.
Kaprizov got it ahead to Bukestad. Bukestad absorbs a hit after he played to the corner. Zuccarello got a stick on it. Merrill. Zuccarello all the way around where Amadio picks it up. Amadio sidesteps a check. Decision knocked off the puck. Strong play by Kulikov. Petrangelo's shot deflected by Zuccarello. He and Kaprizov 2-on-2 at the Vegas line. Zuccarello tried to cut to the middle. He had Petrangelo turned around. Kaprizov back of the net. Run over from behind by Petrangelo. Zuccarello toward the line, intercepted by Lecision.
Yeah, what a great move by Zuccarello. Didn't have a whole lot of speed, but was able to turn Petrangelo inside out, and it looked to me like he just got a skate on that the last second to keep from Zuccarello to getting right on top of the goalie for a grade A scoring chance.
Gaudreau back for Dumba. Greenway able to work his way into Vegas ice. Pitlick out toward the line for Brodin. Gaudreau winds, fires. That was blocked out front of the net. Potter couldn't get it by Gaudreau. His pass goes off the stick of Pitlick. And now they whistle Minnesota offside. Greenway tried to get himself onside by diving into the bench, but to no avail. Still 2-zip Vegas. About the delay of game call against Freddie Gaudreau. Dell Technologies in control, focuses on scoring from the blue line. Minnesota's defensemen 15 points in their last 3 games. Matt Dumba leads the way for the Wild this season. Dumba on the year 16th among all blue liners with 9 points. You've said it a few other times when the offense is struggling that, hey, this feels like a night where you're going to have a defenseman get involved to make a play. I think we're in that territory.
You think I might say that at some point?
I'm just thinking it right now.
Well, you're right. I mean, it's so nice to have that kind of weapon, and really the Vegas Golden Knights have that as a weapon as well. When they're struggling to score, you see their defensemen getting involved. And really, I mean, all the great teams in the NHL, that's how you create offense in the National Hockey League. If you've got too many stay-at-home defensemen, even though you're good defensively, you don't give yourself an opportunity to come back in any games. And it's been a staple around the Minnesota Wild for a long time here, especially with Jonas Brodin and Matt Dumba and Jared Spurgeon carrying the mail on the back end. Great puck-moving defenseman that can skate.
Icing against Vegas, and the Wild will get an offensive zone draw. If you're looking for a way to ring in the new year, come out to XL Energy Center on New Year's Eve to see Thomas Rhett with special guests Cole Swindell and Connor Smith. Tickets for the big event go on sale tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
The Vegas Golden Knights, anytime after an icing, they have a set play where they just try to win the faceoff and flip the puck all the way down to the far blue line here. If you lose this draw, both wingers have to go in there and force their defenseman as quick as possible.
Hartman wins the draw. Dumba's shot deflected. Brodin scrambles up the wall, but Riley Smith able to deflect it out to center. Dumba back in his own zone, gets some pressure that allows Vegas to get a change. Brodin fires it in from center ice. Sturm knocks it away from Petrangelo. Theodore around the boards, wanted Colasar. Stevenson comes to center. Petrangelo in. Dadonov threw it right through the crease. Dumba there for Minnesota. And now Duhaime. 5 points on the season for the rookie Brandon Duhaime, 11th most among all rookies in the National Hockey League. Gaudreau's pass too far for Zuccarello. Petrangelo tipped in by Colasar, intercepted by Merrill. Merrill works his way over the Vegas line. And the former Golden Knight defenseman has his shot deflect out of play. We're past halfway through the second period. Vegas still leading 2-0. Minnesota Lottery looked around the league. Edmonton outscored Boston 5-3. The LA Kings stay hot. Kopitar with a goal and a 2-0 win over Ottawa. And the Devils blank the Islanders. St. Louis lost in overtime against Nashville. Matt Duchene scored the winner. That means that as of this moment, the Wild and the Blues deadlocked at the top of the Central Division with 18 points. The Blues now 8-2-2. The Wild 9-3. Zuccarello to Kaprizov. Back to Zuccarello. Spins out front. Kaprizov tripped as he tried to get the shot away, and Minnesota will go on to the power play. And how about the passing between Kaprizov and Zuccarello to draw this penalty?
Nifty little give and go down low in tight quarters, and that's what makes those two guys so special.
Vegas penalty number 27, 2-minute minor for hooking.
So you know when you play with a guy like Zuccarello, if I can just get him the puck, I don't need to sit around and wait. I know it's coming back to me. Kaprizov stays onside. Again, nice and close to each other. Look at Kirill jump away from the defender. Because he jumps away, Zuccarello puts it right on his tape, and the Wild find themselves on the power play. Again, we talk about power plays, not percentages. The Wild need to get something going. Only 8 shots halfway through this game right now. Need a power play goal to just create a little bit of momentum, get themselves excited, and get themselves back into this game.
Cleared all the way down, and Talbot will tee it up there. Kaprizov starts out for Minnesota. Second power play. Fiala. Zuccarello to Fiala. Back to Kaprizov. And he tried to redirect. Brossoit may have disrupted. Zuccarello went cross ice with it, intercepted by Stevenson. Spurgeon hustling back for Minnesota. And Stevenson's backhander kicked out by Talbot.
Good job by Cam Talbot, recognizing Stevenson could not go to the far side because Spurgeon was there and cut that angle right off.
Eriksson had it stripped away and cleared. Wild will change just past halfway through the power play. Gaudreau to the line. Goligoski into the corner for Gaudreau. Foligno at the side of the net to Hartman. Goligoski walks the line. Hartman into the middle. Gaudreau, a shot, and that went over the top of the goal.
These Vegas forwards pressure so much at the top. You got to move the puck 2 or 3 times really quick and then take the puck to the net.
Dumba spins away from Waugh. This pass went off the heel of Gaudreau's stick, but it sails out of play, and it'll be a 2-man advantage, albeit for only 14 seconds, but Minnesota gets another power play.
Well, we know what happened last night on the Wild's 5-on-3 power play. Zuccarello and Kaprizov playing catch behind the net. Zuccarello makes the pass to Kaprizov, just stuffs it really in the empty net. I'm not sure they're going to have a chance with 14 seconds to get into that look after they have to probably compete for this loose puck, but it's something we're going to be looking for very closely. That cameraman at the back end there, he better be ready, because if this puck gets moving back and forth behind the net, it happens quick.
Eriksson against Stevenson on the draw. Wild able to get numbers on it. Spurgeon across, takes the return feed. Fiala a drive, kicked out. Spurgeon has it. Down low, a save by Brossoit. Kaprizov tied up. Vegas 1 man short. And this one also sails out of play. So now it'll be a 2-man advantage for 99 seconds.
Vegas number 7-minute minor for LA game.
Well, now there's a good chance we're going to see the Kaprizov and Zuccarello playing catch with each other behind the net. Pietrangelo, after a great play defensively by McNabb in his own zone, kicking the puck, looked to me like this puck just jumped up on edge. Right when he was ready to shoot it out, he tries to sell it to the referee. Maybe that hit the Minnesota Wild player, but to no avail.
Back-to-back delay of game calls against the Golden Knights. Two-man advantage for 1:39. Waugh wins the draw, and a very important clear early for Vegas. Evan Fiala works ahead for Minnesota. Gains the zone. Fiala drives in. Maintains the puck. Feeds Spurgeon. Zuccarello. In behind for Kaprizov. Back to Zuccarello. Fiala fakes the shot. Zuccarello with it. Fiala. Spurgeon. Kaprizov. Works to the middle. Spurgeon a drive. That's deflected to the corner. Kaprizov able to keep it alive. Spurgeon has it. 50 in the two-man advantage. Zuccarello. Works back to the middle. Kaprizov. Spurgeon a drive. Save Brossoit. And Golden Knights clear once more.
Smart play by Cam Talbot, jumping up the ice and moving the puck up as quick as they possibly can.
Kaprizov back to Fiala. He waits, a backhander, and that went just wide. Kaprizov digs it out of the corner. Tried to center. Eriksson Ek gives to Spurgeon. To Zuccarello. Zuccarello waiting. Goes to Fiala with it. Fiala looks. Down low, Zuccarello. Two-man advantage about to expire. Eriksson Ek denied by Brossoit. Rebound Kaprizov, intercepted by Waugh. And Haig racing out of the penalty box. Talbot out to play it. And he just got enough of it. Haig then sends one up and over the top of the goal. It ricochets out to neutral ice. Final seconds of the power play for Minnesota. Fiala had it hop off of his stick. Petrangelo's on, and the Golden Knights kill it off. 1:39 of a 5-on-3 for the Wild. Hartman tried to center. Foligno spins away from Theodore. For Dumba, a one-timer, and that goes off a stick and out of play. And the crowd roaring the efforts of the Vegas penalty kill.
Well, they should, because they did an outstanding job keeping the Wild on the outside.
Still 2-0 Golden Knights. Lead here at T-Mobile Arena. Minnesota just had almost 2 full minutes of a 5-on-3.
Yeah, great play there by Zuccarello, moving the puck out front to Eriksson Ek, and then the puck comes out in the neutral zone. Nicholas Haig able to come up with this loose puck, and if that puck doesn't bounce over his stick right there, I think he throws that one in the empty net. And you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Panther, about the ice not being great. The Wild 5-on-3 too. I saw a lot of pucks bouncing around, and I'm starting to see a lot more evidence, especially the last 5 to 8 minutes of every period. That was clearly a goal for Nicholas Haig if that doesn't bounce over his stick. So it's working both ways, but it is difficult to make high-end plays with the ice the way it is, for sure.
Marchessault through the middle, and now Brodin back to pick it up. Brodin trying to work past Janmark. Petrangelo rims it around behind the Minnesota goal. Dumba's there, and ahead to Brodin. 4 minutes to go in the period as Gaudreau comes to the Vegas line. Hartman fires. Foligno's out front, and a backhander knocked away by Brossoit. Hartman with it. Stripped away by Haig. Foligno left all alone inexplicably right in front of the Vegas goal.
I'm telling you, we talked about it earlier this period. The Vegas Golden Knights are not known this season for being a great defensive team. They will give up opportunities. Look at the breakdown in front of the net. Hartman throws the puck to the front, and Lecision is so far away, has no chance to get back there. And Brossoit, who's been outstanding in this game, anytime the Wild have had opportunities, is able to get out on top of the paint, recognizing really that Marcus Foligno had nowhere else to go with the puck other than maybe just to shovel it into his pads.
Janmark run over by Greenway. Sturm grabs the loose puck, dropped it back. Duhaime a chance. Couldn't get a shot off. Sturm with it. Into the middle, Duhaime. Merrill. Kulikov. His shot blocked. Kulikov battling with decision. Greenway in the corner. Tried to walk to the net. Pietrangelo takes it away. He's then hit by Duhaime. Janmark and Sturm tussle there. Could have been a penalty called, but nothing. And Duhaime with it. Got it to Kulikov. Trying to settle a bouncing puck with Hague defending.
Again, bouncing puck. That's the key phrase here the last 5 minutes. Nothing sitting down for either team.
2-on-2. Marchessault into the Minnesota zone. Cut off by Bukestad. Back to the trailing Stevenson. Golden Knights were trying to get players to the bench. They were denied a change on the icing moments before that. The Wild now want to change as Coghlan sends it back through neutral ice. Kolasar. Dadonov. A centering pass ricochets to the corner. Theodore has it poke checked away by Pitlick. Stevenson. Now Vegas with a player alone out front. Dadonov was there. Talbot able to poke check it away.
That's the second time in this game Cam Talbot has done an outstanding job of recognizing the breakdown and using his stick to break out a pass from behind the goal line to a player all alone out front.
Merrill in the corner. Bukestad with it. Rolls down into Vegas territory where Pietrangelo's back to pick it up.
It's interesting after a 5-on-3, especially a 5-on-3 that long, a lot of times you can lose momentum. The Wild did not score on that 5-on-3, and they've really taken the play to the Vegas Golden Knights since that 5-on-3.
Talbot gives it to Goligoski. Goudreau with it at center. Across to Kaprizov. Leaves for Goligoski. His shot got through. Brossoit had to make a save. Minute 10 to go in the period. Kaprizov knocks it loose, but Pietrangelo's there. Flip down into the Minnesota zone. Vegas will change with a minute left.
1 to go in the period.
Zuccarello deflected. Theodore controls for Vegas. Now Dumba with it. Goligoski. Off of Goudreau's stick and sent back down into wild ice.
This is an important sequence right now here with 36 seconds left. Goligoski's been on the ice and Goudreau for over a minute 30.
Goudreau deflects it in. Smith back defensively. Foligno in the corner. Got it to Brodin. Brodin stripped to the puck, supported by Foligno. Goudreau does get to the bench. Zuccarello chasing Hague. Dumba knocks it down but couldn't hold. 12 seconds left in the period. Dumba turns it over. Smith has Marchessault, and he scores.
Just when we had been talking about the Wild after the 5-on-3 had, in my opinion, not lost any momentum, it looked to me like they were taking the play to the Vegas Golden Knights. Turnover in the neutral zone there at the blue line. Quick little 2-on-1. Jonas Brodin overplays, and Marchessault, who likes to shoot top glove, recognizes that Cam Talbot maybe gets there, his timing just a little bit off, maybe gets there a hair early and overslid, and there was a little bit more room on the far side. And that's what great goal scorers do, is they pick corners, and that's exactly what happened.
And what could be a back-breaking goal for Minnesota with 7 seconds left in the period gives Vegas a 3-goal lead. Foligno throws it off of Brossoit, then a sharp angle shot, and Brossoit stopped that one too. Period comes to an end. Minnesota had some momentum, but it disappears quickly after a turnover by Dumba leads to a Marchessault goal.
Yeah, and the 5-on-3, I mean, anytime you don't capitalize on 5-on-3s, usually bad things happen. You got to give the Vegas Golden Knights, you know, a lot of positive feedback there. They did a great job of keeping the Wild to the outside and not allowing the Wild to get a power play goal in that 5-on-3 scenario.
We'll check in with Katie Emmer back in St. Paul. Kevin Gord will visit with Jules Eriksson-Ek coming up during our second intermission. 3-0 Vegas. Minnesota Wild Hockey on Bally Sports North is brought to you by Grand Casino. Let your story begin. And by Luther Group. Shop the Twin Cities' largest selection of vehicles at lutherauto.com.
Well, the Wild certainly had their chances in the second period, including a long 5-on-3 segment, some golden looks. But it's the Golden Knights who get the goal late. They lead 3-0. Wild Amplified is your home for everything you need for the Minnesota Wild. Exclusive content, video, interviews with the players and coaches. Takes you behind the scenes with your favorite hockey team. It's tomorrow night, Friday night, 6 o'clock on Bally Sports North and the Bally Sports app. Wild Amplified. Go deep, go back behind the scenes with your Minnesota Wild. When we come back, we go back to St. Paul, to Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub, and catch up with Katie Storm.
In Seattle, and right off the face-off, that's Josh Mahara firing a slapper through traffic to go top shelf for a 3-1 lead. The Ducks would add to it. It's now 4-2 after 2 in Seattle. We welcome you inside Mall of America studio. I'm Audra Martin. Tonight, Bally Sports North and the United Heroes League are partnering with the help of Highway Credit Union to support our military members and their families. And tonight, you have a chance to show your support and get involved as well. It's all taking place at Tom Reed's in downtown St. Paul, which is where we join Katie Storm.
It's been an action-packed night here in St. Paul as United Heroes League and Highway Credit Union have teamed up to help connect military kids through sports. We have a phone bank open. They're taking your calls all throughout the night until the end of the game. When we walked in here tonight, the number was at over 130,000. At this point, it's over 180,000. It's so amazing to see how hockey fans, how Wild fans can come together to help support such a great cause. We hope you continue to do that. If you'd like to pledge your support, go ahead and call 844-UHL Kids. So fun to see how all of this can happen on this great Veterans Day. Audra, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Katie. That's amazing. So much money raised for a great cause, to support a great organization, and of course to say thank you to our military families who sacrifice so much to protect our country and keep us safe and free. Well, the Minnesota Wild still have some work to do. It's now a 3-0 lead to the Vegas Golden Knights out in Sin City. 20 minutes to get it done. We'll see if they have another comeback in store. Stats and highlights are next.
Three-on-three the other way. Paul Cotter carries in and scores.
Had to dig pretty deep to figure out who Paul Cotter was this afternoon. Only his second game in the National Hockey League.
Kaprizov feeds Zuccarello. Gaudreau's in. Fire saved by Brossoit. Up front, Kaprizov, and he sent it wide. Stevenson with speed into the Minnesota zone. Across, and Dadonov is denied by Talbot. Here's a chance for Smith, shorthanded, and Talbot made the save.
So far, he's been really, really good.
Ronbier cuts in and scores. Dadonov fires, and a glove save by Talbot. Puck was loose. Coughlin a rocket, and that was blocked. Zuccarello to Fiala. Back to Kaprizov. And he tried to redirect. Two-man advantage about to expire. Eriksson-Ek denied by Brossoit. 12 seconds left in the period. Dumba turns it over. Smith has Marchessault, and he scores. A costly turnover at the end of the middle frame means Vegas takes a 3-goal lead rather than a 2-goal edge into the final 20.
Yeah, that was a big one to give up, especially the last 10 seconds there. But statistically speaking, shots on net, the Minnesota Wild are plus 50 in the National Hockey League, right near the top. They've put out a lot of rubber on nets here in the third period. We know they have another gear. We've seen it all season long. Let's see if we see it here in the third.
Last period from Vegas coming up in a moment. Marchessault with the third Vegas goal 7 seconds before the second period ended. And now Cam Talbot and the Wild stare at a 3-goal deficit. They've had some magic coming from behind, have not yet overturned a 3-goal lead this season.
Well, let's see what they got. You know, obviously that goal at the end hurt, and Marchessault, probably their hottest scorer right now. I believe he had 4 goals in 4 games coming into the game. Not the guy you want to have all alone with Cam Talbot there, but never out of the game. You're always trying to take it in 5-minute increments here. It'd be great, obviously, if we could get one the first 5 minutes and see if we can put a little pressure on there and how they handle that. Let's see.
Merrill steps up, flips it down into the corner. Fiala pursues for Minnesota. Polisar has it knocked away by Merrill. Fiala tries to work out of the corner, hesitates, then his shot blocked by McNabb. Foligno recovers. Eriksson Ek in check. Fiala spins away out front, and Foligno couldn't handle it cleanly. He was all alone in the slot.
Just been one of those nights for the Wild. Anytime they've had scoring chances, pucks have bounced over their sticks. Kaprizov earlier in the game just missed an empty net. Would have put the Wild up 1-0. Foligno there could not come up with that puck, all alone in the slot.
Eriksson Ek out to Kaprizov. Kaprizov fires it in. Brossoit to play it back of the net. Gave it to Haig. And now Waugh comes to center. Malagoski back for the Wild. Spurgeon to Zuccarello. Gaudreau across to Kaprizov. 2-on-2 at the Vegas line. Spurgeon's the trailer moving in. He scores! And a minute 20 in, the Wild have life.
Obviously a big goal here for the Wild early in the third period, but the crowd here just erupted. It was unbelievable in the building how many Wild fans are in this building. Felt like we were in St. Paul. Defenseman jumping up into the play. It's a theme we've seen all season long. Jared Spurgeon jumps into that play. Anytime you're moving up the ice and you can beat the forward up the ice, you're yelling at the forwards, and Kaprizov finds him on the back door. I know he had Gaudreau on the back door, but that is your spot when you're Jared Spurgeon. Likes to hit that top glove there, and the Wild got a little bit of life.
Minnesota goal scored by number 6, Jared Spurgeon.
Well,
with an assist from number 19.
You said you wanted to see something happen in the first 5 minutes. This happens in the first minute and a half.
Yeah, I mean, Foligno had a great opportunity to score 30 seconds into this. So we talked about this Vegas Golden Knights team. They're not a lockdown team like they have been in the past. They give up opportunities. You just got to force them into making mistakes. That's the key.
Amadio tied up by Spurgeon along the boards. Amadio carries back in. Gaudreau got a stick on it, and Talbot senses disorganization and will hang out.
You know, when you're down 3, it's sometimes can be overwhelming when you're back in the locker room, and a lot of the things that are talked about is just getting that first one and see if we can build a little momentum. And it's just small little mountains trying to get to that next summit. And the Wild have gotten to the first summit. Yeah, put a little pressure on Vegas and see how they handle pressure from the Wild.
Duhaime deflects it out, and Haig sends it across. Icing against Vegas. Offensive zone draw coming for Minnesota. 2.5 minutes in, and Hartman, as he does so often, antagonizing and just a little bit under the skin of Brett Howden.
Well, that was the old reverse hit down there in the quarter. Obviously, Brett Howden hasn't played a whole lot against Ryan Hartman. Caught him a little off guard as a young player. That's something you're going to put in your back pocket. We've seen Mikko Koivu do that over years, the old reverse hit. When someone's coming in to bang you, knock them on their butt and then take off with the puck. Great job by Ryan Hartman there.
Draw controlled by Vegas. Haig, and it's deflected, so we'll get another icing call against the Golden Knights, and another offensive zone faceoff for Minnesota against a tiring group. Now a quick word from Arby's.
$5 boneless wings and fries. Arby's on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Now let's not forget, Alec Martinez, one of the best defensemen in the NHL, a minute eater for the Vegas Golden Knights, left this game 5 minutes or 10 minutes into the game. The Vegas Golden Knights have played pretty much this whole game with 5 defensemen.
Hey, that's a face-off violation and a penalty coming against Vegas. Minnesota will get a power play as Howden went down in the circle, grabbed the puck with the hand, and a power play for the Wild.
Vegas, 2-minute minor penalty, delay of game, face-off violation.
The old Zenon Konopka rule. Played against him for many years, coached him a little bit in Tampa there, was a genius at it, really good. Changed the rule because of him. He was so good at tying up. You see a loose puck sitting up right there, and that's an easy call. The referee, not the referee, the linesman called that right away.
So a big power play for Minnesota. This is their 5th power play opportunity, and Fiala broke his stick as he tried to send it across, and that'll allow Vegas to clear the zone. Waugh carries it around shorthanded, sandwiched in the corner. Fiala tried to get it to Kaprizov, and now it's Spurgeon to pick it up. Wild on the board, 1:20 into the period. Now on to the power play. Spurgeon in the corner. Got it out to the line for Zuccarello. Zuccarello back to Spurgeon. Kaprizov. Fiala in the middle. Had to go off the heel of his stick again. He broke one stick already on this Wild power play. Talbot throws it to the wall.
Smart play there by Cam Talbot to get out and play that puck, because if he lets that puck go, Kolasar's all alone.
Kaprizov in for Minnesota. Zuccarello fires, and a save by Brossoit. Kaprizov catches up with it to hold. Nifty pass back to Goligoski. Kaprizov then tried to go all the way across, and an easy interception for Kolasar. He sends Stevenson in shorthanded, and Talbot makes that save.
Okay, this Vegas Golden Knights, when they're on top of their penalty kill, they pressure so hard at the top with their top forwards. Quick puck movement is the key to getting past some of that pressure.
Dumba in the corner, around behind Theodore, to the line. Goligoski holds. Foligno finds Hartman. Hartman fires, and a glove save by Brossoit, and a shot headed well wide.
Well, the way the Vegas Golden Knights have killed penalties here tonight, they've just been very, very aggressive, able to knock pucks away from the forwards. Again, just a lot of pressure from the top all the way down to the half wall. It's kind of a trend that we've been seeing in the National Hockey League here the last, I would say, 5 or 6 years. Not every team does it, but the San Jose Sharks started that 5 or 6 years ago, and it's kind of caught on.
Dumba's shot deflects to the corner. Gaudreau to Dumba. Fires again, and it's deflected by Brossoit. Power play is over. Gaudreau, Hartman fires. That goes wide. Dumba after it for Minnesota, and he couldn't golf it past Howden. Wild had a couple of looks on the power play, but they come up empty and are 0 for 5. Foligno sent it across. Dumba comes back into the Wild zone. 5 minutes into the third. Vegas leading 3-1. Hartman in for Minnesota. Withstands a hit. Waugh takes it away. McNabb out to center. Marchessault sends it back into his own zone. Greenway nearly stripped it away from Coghlan. Now Dodonov sends it wide. Bukestad got it to the line. Theodore holds, and Talbot will cover this one. Minnesota all year long has had plenty of gas in the tank in the third period. Third period shots on goal differential, the Wild plus 50. That's the widest margin on the positive side in the league.
It's been a common theme for this team all season long. I believe they're second or third in the National Hockey League in just getting pucks to the net, shots on net. They've been in the bottom 20 of the National Hockey League 4 or 5 years. And if you look at the teams that are playing for Stanley Cups at the end of every year, it's always the top teams in the National Hockey League are right near the top at getting shots on net, getting volume at the front of the net.
2-on-1 for Vegas. Stevenson sends it across. Talbot out to challenge. Loose puck. Dodonov has it in the corner. Got it to Kolesar in behind. Theodore moves in for a shot and a save by Talbot. He hangs on. Minnesota's back in the game on a goal by Spurgeon. It's 3-1 Vegas.
Concepts game summary. It was a night of firsts in the first period for Vegas. Paul Cotter with his first in the league. He got the early marker, then was joined by his teammate Jonas Ronberg, his first. They got a goal from Marcia so late in the second. The Wild needed an answer. They got it from the captain, Jared Spurgeon's third of the year. Assist to Kaprizov and Gaudreau. We're at 3-1 right now. We've seen this team 7 different times come back, so maybe the Wild have them right where they want them.
We'll find out. Dean Evason's talked about it so many times about the ability to come from behind is nice, but it'd be even better if you didn't have to do it every night.
Yeah, for sure. And this is the second. I mean, the back end of back-to-backs makes it a little more difficult for sure as the game wears along. Legs get a little bit heavier as the game goes on. So much talk around the National Hockey League. What was going to happen with Jack Eichel? Where was he going to land? Well, I guess we all found out about a week or so ago. Jack Eichel traded for by the Vegas Golden Knights. And that sag is finally over.
Peyton Krebs and Alex Tuck, the two significant players going the other way. Fans here are excited about it. In fact, I had a chance. I was here Tuesday night to see the Vegas-Seattle game. They had Eichel here to get the horn rolling to start the game. Building erupted. Already starting to see Eichel jerseys popping up.
Well, already in the pregame show, he was up on the Jumbotron, so he's probably done more media work here in about 5 days than he's done in 7 years in Buffalo.
Foligno sends it back to Spurgeon. Jared Spurgeon, the goal scorer for Minnesota, gives to Brodin. He reaches center and fires it in. But once again, Brossoit able to play it. And that gives Vegas a clean exit. Marchessault for Waugh. Tried to center. And Dumba has it there for Minnesota. Leaves it in the corner. Waugh. And now Dumba starts ahead for the Wild. Finds Fiala with it. 3-on-3 at the Vegas line. Fiala goes across. Just too hot to handle for Eriksson Ek. Dumba blasts one wide. Pietrangelo to Marchessault. He relays to center. Riley Smith there. Smith tried to center. Foligno had Waugh tied up. Now Brodin sprawls to take away that centering pass. And the Wild come back through center with Fiala. His pass between the skates of Gaudreau. Gaudreau able to recover in the corner. Freddie Gaudreau shoved up against the boards. Kaprizov there for Minnesota. You know who he's trying to find. His pass deflected away. Zuccarello with it. Behind the back pass for Kulikov. Out front, Gaudreau. Kaprizov got a stick on it. Not enough to get a shot.
You see the Vegas Golden Knights players flying the neutral zone. Dodonov, I have no idea why he took off to the far blue line, but Kulikov followed him all the way down the ice.
Here's Kolesar in alone against Talbot. And a save by Talbot. A tremendous pad save on the backhand by Kolesar.
Just another big save in the long list of big saves in the third period to keep this Wild team in games and allow them opportunities to come back.
6 odd man rushes for Vegas in this game. Greenway spins out of the corner. Goes across. He found Pitlick, but then Pitlick tried to go against the grain instead of a shot. And Vegas comes back the other way. Spurgeon to Greenway. Back into the Minnesota zone. Goligoski across to Spurgeon. Duhaime had it poke checked away, but got it back. Sturm to Pitlick. Duhaime sends it back into his own zone. Dumba at center. Down into Vegas ice where Howden has it. 10.5 to go here in the third. Vegas scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second. The Wild have 1 here in the third. Pietrangelo in. Back to the line. A shot by Theodore is right into the midsection of Cam Talbot. Here's the car shield protection play.
Again, breakaway. We've seen Cam Talbot, like I mentioned, doing this all year. Moves to his right, gets down on his belly, just able to get that right pad up high enough to keep that one out of the net. I mean, it's just been remarkable. The Wild comebacks, of course, we talk about heroes and Eriksson Ek and Foligno and you know, Ryan Hartman in overtime. None of that happens if Cam Talbot doesn't come up with these big saves. A lot of times in those comebacks, those plays get overlooked, but not in the locker room. I can promise you that.
Janmark into the corner. McNabb to Coghlan. His shot knocked down by Hartman. Duhaime works by Amadio. Ducks around a check by Coghlan, but then has the puck stripped away. Coghlan back the other way. Tried to center. And the decision shot was deflected down by Talbot. Amadio recovers a puck in the circle. A shot and another big save by Talbot. We're past halfway through the third. Cam Talbot keeping Minnesota within striking distance. 3-1 Vegas. Jared Spurgeon's goal has Minnesota on the board, but still down 3-1. Join the Wild and Securian Financial in showing appreciation to our hometown heroes on Firefighters Night when the Wild battle Buffalo December 16th. A special ticket offer includes a custom ball cap. Find your seats at wild.com/themepacks. Smith had it chipped away. Marchessault. Kulikov thrown into the ground by Waugh. Marchessault sends it across. Pietrangelo poke checked away, and Fiala has it for Minnesota. Fiala working against Haig. Fiala back pedals. Got it to Foligno. And a centering pass. Kulikov was tied up. I'm not sure how he wasn't able to push that one into an empty net.
I don't know if his stick got lifted at the very last moment. Again, Wild defensemen getting involved on the offense whenever they get an opportunity.
Fiala upended by Smith. Eriksson Ek works out of the corner, threw it on goal. Foligno there looking for loose change, and it's clear the other way. Spurgeon back to pick it up. It looked like Foligno's pass got to Kulikov, and Brossoit was on the other post.
Well, we'll have to see a replay. I mean, from here it looked like he got his pocket pick maybe at the very last minute. A lot of times as a defenseman, you don't find yourself in the crease. You don't recognize how heavy and how hard you have to be right around the front of the net. If you get hard over top of your stick, you just shovel that one in.
Kaprizov with a behind-the-back pass. Didn't connect with Zuccarello. Kolasar has it knocked away by Gaudreau. Kaprizov protects the puck. Creates space. Hits the Vegas line. Back to the point for Zuccarello. His long shot right on. And a save by Brossoit.
Okay, here's a look at it right there. Yeah, just did get his pocket picked by Pietrangelo, number 7. The long reach, just getting his stick in there at the very last moment. And Wild with a great opportunity. And Kulikov, who picked up his 5th point in 12 games so far this season, only had 4 in 48. So you know he's feeling good about his game, and it's been a great addition to the Wild here so far this season.
Bukestad wins the draw, but it escapes Brodin and comes back down into Wild territory. 8 minutes left here in Vegas. Greenway Dumba at center ice, had it knocked away by Howden. Wild control once more. Dumba to Greenway. He flips it down into the corner. Wild trying to extend their winning streak to 5 games against a Vegas club that's won 6 of their last 8.
And really quite remarkable what they've been able to do. See that puck bounce over Matt Dumba's stick there. The ice has not been great. Pucks bouncing all over the place, but really quite remarkable what the Vegas Golden Knights have been able to do with their top guys. Arguably their top 3 forwards out of the lineup. And if they hang on to win this game 7-2 in their last 5 games, it's a testament to the leadership in that locker room. They play hard.
Merrill with a long shot. It's deflected by Sturm. Sturm shoves it around for Kulikov. He got a stick on it to hold the zone. Now it comes out to center ice. Merrill plays it softly up the boards. Coughlin pressured by Duhaime. Duhaime walks out of the corner with it. And it was passed behind Hartman. Kulikov with it. Kulikov working up near the line, holds the zone. Merrill down low. Hartman fires. He scores! Hartman beats Brossoit, and the Wild cut it to 1.
We've seen Ryan Hartman find that soft little area in the zone defense and bury it far side. It's been, this has been going on all season long. Whether you want him to play wing or center, the man just delivers when it matters. Great play there by Eriksson Ek. Gets the puck a little bit out in front of Ryan Hartman. Wasn't quite in his wheelhouse. It was off his front foot, but able to lean forward and just get enough momentum and use the whip in his stick to be able to get that puck to the far side of the rink. And Kulikov did a great job of keeping that puck alive too. And you mentioned it on the dump in, Anthony. John Merrill, when he dumped the puck in 30 seconds before, it didn't get stopped behind the net. It was a soft dump into the corner, and the Wild were able to come up with that loose puck, and it resulted in a goal 30 seconds later.
Plenty of time left. 6:25 remaining. And now Waugh and Eriksson Ek both booted off the face-off dot. Fiala wins the draw for Minnesota. Goligoski sends it in. Eriksson Ek in on the forecheck. Spurgeon settles it down at center. Marchessault takes it away, but Vegas is offside.
So it's interesting when you're down by 2 goals, how loose the Wild defensemen were jumping up into the play and taking a lot of chances. Now that you're only down a goal, you've got to be you're not going to take quite as many chances. It might be hard for people at home to understand that, but you're not going to play quite as reckless until we get down to maybe 3-4 minutes. Because you just don't want to give up an odd breakaway or 2-on-1, take yourself right out of the game.
Spurgeon circles back in his own zone. Goligoski's pass deflected in. Boy, you start to think back to some of the chances the Wild have had. Kaprizov missing the empty net. Kulikov tied up at the last second just moments ago. Foligno all alone out front.
Well, they've had some good opportunities too to lengthen their lead out here as well. Cam Talbot save on a breakaway, and then a couple breakdowns there when the Wild were down by 3 goals. Cam Talbot able to keep this a 3-1 game and allow the Wild to at least have an opportunity to get back in this one.
Gaudreau nearly had a takeaway there. As Brodin comes back, we'll get icing against Vegas and an offensive zone draw for the Wild with 5:22 left here in the third.
Hague, Pietrangelo, and Stevenson all have been on the ice for over a minute. And again, only 5 defensemen for the Vegas Golden Knights. Alec Martinez hurt early in this game, so they've been leaning heavily on guys that are playing a little bit extra minutes.
Good battle for this puck off the faceoff. Marchessault comes away with it, got it to Smith, and this will allow Vegas to change. Smith threw it toward the net, was hoping Talbot was out of position. Theodore back into his own zone, 5 minutes left. Brodin around for Gaudreau. Golden Knights bring it right back in. Good stick by Brodin, breaks it up. Dumba couldn't clear. Waugh holds his own. Brodin after it. And Gaudreau off the skates of Kaprizov. Gaudreau there to recover. Minnesota gets reorganized with 4.5 minutes left. Gaudreau at center. Brossoit. McNabb. Amadio lost the puck. Greenway had it. Plays it across. Bukestad off the boards and out to center ice. Bukestad trying to fight through a check there. Merrill defending Amadio. Inside 4 minutes left. Pitlick launches it the length of the ice, and this will be icing against Minnesota with 3:49 remaining. The Wild been so good on faceoffs. They've won 8 of the last 9, but the one they lost was a key after the icing call against Vegas.
Yeah, faceoff department for the Wild have been much better this year. They're hovering right around the middle of the National Hockey League. I believe they were 15th coming into this game.
McNabb. Now Bukestad. Pass behind Pitlick, and we'll get icing again. Bukestad thought Pitlick had a step on the defense and just tried to throw it off the end boards. Pitlick was on a different page of the playbook.
Bukestad thought he was going for the stop and go. Is that what that's called in football? You're the football coach. Come on. Was that a stop and go?
Stop and go. Maybe a Hugo. Merrill. Greenway delivers a hit on the wall. Wild finally do come away with the puck. 3.5 minutes to go. Pitlick wiped out by McNabb.
And that's one thing McNabb can do, is he can lower the boom. That's one guy you got to keep your head up when you're on the ice against him. He's got a little Scott Stevens to him.
Goligoski races out for Minnesota. Tipped in by Sturm. Brossoit out to play it. And if Sturm comes up with that puck, no chance for Brossoit to get back in the net. Duhaime sends it wide. Haig on it there for Vegas. And he plays it off the glass and all the way down. Icing against the Golden Knights. 2:50 left. And now how early will Dean Evason summon Cam Talbot? He'll summon him right now.
I think you got your answer. There goes Cam Talbot.
Might see a timeout here.
Huge hit there by Braden McNabb, known for using his body. We used to call that in the day getting Cronwell. Nicholas Cronwell was unbelievable at that. Detroit Red Wings. He caught me in the trolley tracks one time, and I haven't forgotten it.
2:50 to go. Empty net for Minnesota. They win the draw. Brodin. Fiala drive, and it went just wide. Spurgeon holds. Kaprizov around for Zuccarello, back of the net. Off the boards to Fiala. Back down low, Zuccarello. Into the middle, Brodin. Fiala. Zuccarello to Eriksson Ek. Tipped over for Spurgeon. Brodin to Fiala. Zuccarello, one touch out front. Eriksson Ek hammering away. Couldn't get it by Brossoit. And the shot at the empty net well wide. It'll be icing against Vegas. And a long shift will continue. 2:14 left. Dean Evason, now you get into those decisions. Do you want to call a timeout and rest your guys, or try to take advantage of the tired Golden Knights players?
Well, it looks to me like Dean Evason is taking his timeout. A lot of times in those situations, you'll look at the bench, maybe at your veterans players.
Their 30-second
nice play by Zuccarello, just getting the puck out front while they're trying to converge. A lot of times the coaching staff will look out at Jared Spurgeon, the guys that are the veteran guys, and Jared will look at the bench and say, we're okay, or because they have a better idea how tired they are, right? But Dean Evason knows that the Vegas Golden Knights are leaning on 5 defensemen, and their guys are dead tired too. That's one thing that Jared might not be thinking about, or some of the Wild players. So that's the game inside the game that takes place all the time. He's pushed, this guy right here, Dean Evason's pushed a lot of the right buttons since he's been the head coach of this Minnesota Wild organization, taking over for Bruce Boudreau.
Wild have had a little success lately with the extra attacker, and they do it again here tonight. 2:14 left. Spurgeon plays to the corner. Theodore battling there. A pass for the point, intercepted. Dodonov off the glass, knocked down by Fiala at the Minnesota line. And Brodin will regroup for the Wild. Fiala with it. Reaches center and floats it into the corner. Spurgeon, the first man in. Eriksson Ek tried to go back to Spurgeon. He does. Zuccarello to Brodin. Zuccarello in behind Kaprizov. Out front, tried to get it to Eriksson Ek, and it was disrupted. Tipped by Spurgeon and out. Brodin comes back to pick it up for Minnesota, and Vegas gets a change.
Anthony, this ice is so bad here. We're only a minute and a half left. It's just really difficult to make 3-4 passes in a row.
Waugh with a takeaway, and then he whistles one wide of the empty net. Kaprizov tripped. There's going to be a power play for Minnesota.
If you're the Wild right now, you got to shoot the puck right on the goaltender to try to get a whistle as quick as you can.
They get the whistle with 1:03 left, and the Wild will be 6-on-4 with the empty net behind.
Vegas penalty, 2-minute minor, number 81, tripping.
Marchessault for a trip. Wild to the power play.
Again, anytime you're in on the forecheck here, you're just trying to put as much pressure as you possibly can. You know that's such valuable seconds. If the Vegas Golden Knights could keep the Wild hemmed into their own zone. A little overzealous with his stick there is Marchessault.
Wild had almost 2 minutes of a two-man advantage earlier in the game. This essentially the same thing, 6-on-4. 1:03 left. Hartman takes the draw. Foligno pushed it toward the net, and then Hartman's pass comes back all the way into the Minnesota zone. Goligoski to Dumba. Plays it in, and gets by Brossoit. Foligno fights past Waugh. 6th power play chance of the game for the Wild. Hartman couldn't knock it down. It's cleared. Remember, they're shorthanded, so there's no icing involved. Goligoski starts it back for Minnesota with a half a minute to go. Hartman has it hop off of his stick, but Dumba supports. Pietrangelo clears to center. It bounces by Goligoski. Janmark circling the net. 15 seconds. Gaudreau got it through for Dumba. He tried to play it across to Foligno, and it's cleared to center. Hartman at the red line to Spurgeon, but Minnesota's offside with 2.2 seconds left.
I didn't see what happened behind the play there, but Marcus Foligno was not very happy with Pietrangelo. Unfortunately for the Wild there, with a minute left on the power play on the 6-on-4, they were unable to come up with that loose puck right off of the face-off. The puck got scrummed up, and it did eventually get kicked back to the Wild defenseman, but it went back right between the two Wild defensemen, went back into the neutral zone, and really the Wild were unable to really corral the puck again and get a great opportunity to get the puck to settle down.
Kick to Kaprizov. He fires, and it's easily steered aside by Brossoit. And the winning streak is over for Minnesota. Their rally falls short. Vegas wins it 3-2.
Yeah, just ran out of gas a little bit there at the end, but again, great push. This team just never quits, never gives up. We've seen it all season long. We're able to scratch and claw, give themselves an opportunity. Unfortunately tonight, they come up a little short.
Vegas 3, Minnesota 2. Wild Live to wrap it all up is next.